Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Hey, we're doing a mock draft today on Sleeper, and I'm doing it from the position that I call both the blessing and the curse. Yes, pick number one in a 12-team PPR league. We're going to see how it goes. Let me tell you what, I'm going to give you a sneak preview. It went pretty awesome, so you got to check it out. Here we go.
Listen up. It's time for the Fantasy Maverick podcast, starring the guy who's going to help you win that fantasy championship, Jimmy Maverick.
Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick podcast, and we are going to do a mock draft today on Sleeper. And the reason we are doing this is because I am part of an Instagram experts league. We're calling ourselves the Breakout League. It's a 12-team PPR league, and we are going to, I found out today that I am picking first in this league. So yeah, first, right? The blessing and the curse. That's what I call the first pick in the draft. If you nail that first pick, man, your team's going to be really good. But if you screw it up, your team is screwed, right? So you really got to be careful about who you pick first in the draft. Ask anyone that took Le'Veon Bell 2 seasons ago. There you go. So anyway. We're going to use my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to help us pick players. And if you haven't done so already, I really want to invite you. Go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. That's where the app lives. You can access it from any web-connected device. And what it does is it allows you to build a fully customized draft list in minutes that's broken down for each round of the draft, helping you find the absolute best players at each and every pick. And I'm going to show you how it works. It's a quick setup. You can set up a draft in under 5 minutes, a list in under 5 minutes. And so when you log into the app, it's going to ask you 3 questions. First is, how does your league score points? Well, in this case, this is a PPR league. Do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? We're just going to say no. I want to see all the players on the draft board, so we'll say no to that. And then, do you want to enter draft mode? Yes. So what we need to do is go the size of our league and our draft position, first draft position. We'll enter the draft mode. And so you've got here, this is your typical top 250 list. But when you go into draft mode, you'll see that these tabs pop up. And what this does is this represents each round of your draft. So this is your first round. And then, of course, our second and third round picks are together, and the fourth and fifth and the sixth and seventh. And so those get their own tab. Of course, if you are in a situation where they're not right next to each other, you'll have a separate tab for each round of the draft. Down below it, you've got recommendations. So you got my top 3 favorite players for that round. And then what you'll see down here is the players. This is the player list. And what this is all the players between our first pick and our second pick with a little bit of overlap. And but instead of being sorted by their draft position, it's sorted by what I call the VORC score, which stands for value, outlook, reliability, and consistency. It's these 4 columns right here. And based on how they score, how they rate on each of these criteria, they get points. Those points are added up. That gives you your VORC score. And so you can see here that the top rated players, the top 3 rated players are Zeke Elliott, Saquon Barkley, and Alvin Kamara. They all score very close to one another, 75, 74, and 73 VORC points. They're all excellent choices for our first overall pick. You can also see that Chris Godwin is the top rated running back for this round. He scores 49 VORC points. I would not recommend taking a wide receiver if you are picking first overall. I don't think that's really a very controversial thing to say. But anyway, we're going to go on to the Sleeper app. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin the draft. And what I like to say is it's going to go very quickly between the rounds as the auto picker just pick like that. You'll have more time between your picks to make decisions. And that's what we're going to do. So I will pause the draft, and then we'll make our decision on the next player, and then we'll let it go, and we'll see what happens. So as I said, for our first pick, I love the idea of going with Zeke Elliott. I love the offense. I love the new coach. I love Dak. I think he's an excellent quarterback. I think this is Zeke's chance to finally get the rushing title. This is a very good offense. They're going to score a lot of points. It's going to be a lot of opportunities and a lot of goals, goal line work. So I love Zeke this year. That's why he's my number 1. Now, Saquon Barkley is only 1 point behind him on my VORC score. So as far as I'm concerned, that's equivalent. If you like Saquon Barkley better, go for that. What about CMC? Where is he? Well, Christian McCaffrey's way down here, and I'll tell you why. He scores very well on the reliability and consistency, and the value rank, of course, number 1 overall. But his outlook is not great because he's got 2 issues. One, he signed a big fat contract in the offseason, $16 million a year. I think he got 5 years. Very impressive contract. But I say that hungry dogs run faster, and Christian McCaffrey is now a very well-fed dog. So it's a little downgrade for him there. But the bigger downgrade is just the fact that he's a regression candidate because he had an NFL record-setting season last year. He was one of the third or fourth player ever to do 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. It's going to be almost impossible for him to duplicate that effort this year. We got a new quarterback. We got a new coaching system. We got better offensive weapons on that team. It's a very good offense. I really like the offense, but I don't think he's going to get especially the passing volume that he got last year. So, and also just the fact that there hasn't been a running back that's repeated as the number one running back for fantasy since 2004. It's been a long time. I don't think McCaffrey's going to do it this year, so I'm going to go with someone with the upside, the potential that he could get it, and I think Zeke is the best option for this year being able to do it. Like I said, love Barkley too, but that offense is not as good as the Cowboys. So we'll go ahead. We will take Zeke with our first pick, so we'll just come down here. And we'll take Zeke, which for some crazy reason in PPR, Sleeper has him as ranked as 8th. I think that's nuts. I have no idea where that came from. But we'll go ahead and we'll take Zeke. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to start the draft. Let's begin it. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll take Zeke. All right, and so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause for just a second. We'll come back to this. This goes very quickly. But what we do is once we've made our selection, then you jump back to the app and you click on the 2-3 tab. You click on the next tab to see what we're looking at. And you can see here that the app is recommending Le'Veon Bell, Calvin Ridley, Robert Woods with our second overall pick. Now you'll also see that there's these little markers next to the names. You see these little guns here? What that means is that's a long shot. So we got Kenny Golladay, very highly rated if he makes it back to us on the second round. But what the gun means is less than a 50-50 shot he'll make it to us. So that's why he gets the long shot designation. But he could. But you'll also see these little hands, and these hands are not very well rated here. But what that means is those are reaches, which means on the next round, by the time our fourth pick comes around, these guys are going to be the long shots. So if we see a hands player very highly rated at the top of the list, you might want to take it now, or, you gamble and you say, okay, I've got less than a 50-50 shot he'll be available on my next pick. But if he is, that would be amazing, right? So it's your choice, but that's just designed to help you strategize a little bit in your game. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to utilize the queue on the board to mark up the players that I want to be sure that I don't miss out on. And if we look at the first round, the highest rated players, obviously Barkley, Kamara, they're never going to make it back. Drake probably won't make it back. But we could put Godwin and Golladay on our queue and see what happens. I mean, again, we're just seeing if they would even be available. But if they are, then they're going to be clearly marked on our board, so we will know that, in fact, they are still available. That's something very important to do. But as far as for our next round pick, let's go ahead. We can also queue up. We can queue up Bell and Ridley and Woods. I think we can definitely do that. So let's go to running backs. We'll go ahead and we'll put Bell on there. There's Bell. We can put. I'll go back to wide receivers. Let's get Ridley and Woods. I like both those guys a lot. And let's just see what happens here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to unpause the draft. I'm going to resume the draft. And so you can see here that what happened was after us, McCaffrey, Barkley, Devontae Adams got taken. Then Kamara, Henry, Dalvin Cook, Michael Thomas, Nick Chubb, Julio Jones, Kenyon Drake, Austin Eckler closed out the first round. Then Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill, Joe Mixon. Then we got Patrick Mahomes, Chris Godwin, Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, Aaron Jones, George Kittle, and now it's back to us. This is not surprising, actually, seeing both the elite quarterbacks and the elite tight ends all go in the second round. Very, very, you should expect that this year, but that's going to let things fall to us that we really like Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay rates fantastically at this point. Look at him. He's gets 71 VORC points this round. Value rank 14th. We're at pick 24. Awesome positive value there. That is an excellent choice here that we can take. And as far as the running backs go, if we look at the running backs, Le'Veon Bell, Leonard Fournette doesn't rank as well. See, these guys don't rank very well on value, but Bell sure does. It's because Bell catches so many balls. So I like the idea of going with Golladay and Bell for our second and third round pick, and I think that'll set us up very nicely, a very nice, strong core of players. So we'll go ahead and take him, and then we'll take Bell. And then, like I said, what I did before is I'm going to pause the draft. I'm just going to pause it here. Okay, so we're going to just pause the draft. We'll come back and review those players in a second, but let's jump to the next round. Again, in a normal draft, we'd have tons of time here. The draft picks don't go that quickly, so we can see what happens here. Now, you can see on the 4th and 5th round, it is now recommending Kareem Hunt is at the top of the list. Deshaun Watson. If we wanted to go quarterback, I really don't want to go quarterback here. I want to be one of the last people in the league to take a quarterback. Only 2 have come off the board so far, so we are not going to take one of those guys. Terry McLaurin, great choice for a wide receiver. I really like him as well. You can see all the players here. Now, the steal would be Courtland Sutton. He's the long shot for this round. If he makes it to us, that would be, again, amazing value. Look at his value rank, 31st. Versus our next pick at 48. Huge value there. So I love the idea. Let's get Sutton queued up. We'll get Hunt queued up as well. And Terry McLaurin. Let's get all those guys queued up. So we'll go with our running back. Let's see here. We'll go Kareem Hunt. There he is. We will also go to the wide receivers, and we'll go Sutton. No, there's McLaurin. There's Sutton. Let's see if those guys make it back to us. And, of course, we still got Ridley and Woods on. Who knows? Who knows if they'd make it back to us? If they did, that'd be colossal. I don't think it's going to happen. But let me go ahead, and I'm going to unpause the draft. And so you can see after Bell, Mike Evans came off the board, then Fournette, Gurley, and Edwards-Helaire. Then a couple of wide receivers, Robinson and Thielen came off. Then we got Chris Carson, James Conner running backs, Juju Smith-Schuster wide receiver. Melvin Gordon was the last player taken in the third round. Let me get here so I can see. I'm sorry, Melvin Gordon and DJ Moore were taken off to close out the third round. Then started the fourth round, Singletary and David Johnson. Odell Beckham, Calvin Ridley, Robert Woods. So 2 of our picks, they did not make it back to us, as we did expect. Mark Andrews, a third tight end, came off. We got Amari Cooper Kupp. Then Jonathan Taylor, the running back for Indianapolis, the rookie, came off. That's the first rookie coming off the board. I think that's very early for a rookie. I would not take a rookie. A.J. Brown, then Raheem Mostert, and so it's back to us. So you can see that Kareem Hunt, Terry McLaurin, and Courtland Sutton made it back to us. You can also see there's some other players available here. We got DK Metcalf, T.Y. Hilton, Keenan Allen, DJ Chark. These guys, they're very good. Oh, look, David Montgomery's still available. Let's go ahead, and one of the things this app does is you can restore players from a prior round. And so if you want to see, I don't think Montgomery was supposed to make it back. Oh, maybe he did. Let's take a look. Running back. Is Montgomery on here? Oh, yes, David Montgomery. He scores only 15 VORC points. That's just not something exciting. I like to say they got to score at least 40 VORC points for me to consider them. And so if we look here, and again, at the players at the top of the list, Courtland Sutton scores 73 VORC points. So I think we absolutely need to take him. Kareem Hunt scores 54. I actually love that pair. That is a colossally good pair. David Johnson already came off, so he's not available. So why don't we go with that? We'll go with Sutton as our wide receiver 2. I really like that. And then we will go Kareem Hunt. And he is our RB3. And so hold on here. I am going to pause. Let's pause the draft. And we will jump to the next round. So now we're going to enter the 6th, 7th round. Now for tight ends, I like to start looking at tight ends here. Certainly one tight end that we did pass on, he probably will not make it back to us, is Darren Waller. But I definitely am going to put him on my queue just in case he does. And look, Zach Ertz is still there too. I'm gonna put both those guys on because I actually love them both for fantasy. There we go. Okay, so I'll put them up, and who knows if they'll make it back to us. They probably won't. But if we then go to the 6th, 7th round, you can see there's Tyler Higbee, there's Evan Engram. They don't rank well. Look at this terrible VORC score for these players. Just, and the problem with tight ends is they're always problematic. They just score terribly. They're always overvalued. But none of these players are worth a pick at this point. It's just they're not good for your fantasy team. You're not getting value. Poor outlook, poor consistency. Who are the best players in this round? Well, it's saying Sterling Shepard, Matt Ryan, Michael Gallup. And again, no quarterbacks came off in the last round. So we don't even need to worry about Matt Ryan yet. He's like the 7th or 8th quarterback being taken off the board. But I do like the idea of queuing up Sterling Shepard and Michael Gallup. So let's get them queued up. So let's see here. Sterling Shepard. I'm going to just do the search. Sterling Shepard. Oh, he's not ranked very well at all on this app. That's the thing. It's everybody's got their own rankings, right? Sterling Shepard, Michael Gallup. I like Gallup. Michael Gallup. Okay, let's look at the running backs too. I mean, as far as the running backs go on this round, you can see here that the values really start to just tank. Look at the value rank of like Marlon Mack, 109th overall. Raheem Mostert, who was already taken, so he's already gone. Swift is 83rd. Tariq Cohen is 86th. He'd be a good choice for he would be a good choice for PPR, but he doesn't. Again, they don't score well. Look, all these guys score less than 40, so it's not a good round to take someone like that. For quarterbacks, you got Matt Ryan, who is the highest rated player here. I don't think we need to worry about taking him yet just because only 3 quarterbacks have come off the board. So I think we're good with our queue right now. Let's see who makes it back to us. So let's go ahead. We'll unpause. We will resume the draft. And after our pick, after Kareem Hunt, we have David Montgomery came off, then Lockett, McLaurin, Hilton, Metcalf, Allen, and Chark. So a huge run on wide receivers there. Okay, now 2 more quarterbacks. Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray came off, as well as Mark Ingram in between them. Zach Ertz came off, Cam Akers, then Darren Waller. So Waller came off. So that was one of our, that was like a longest of long shot that he would ever make it back to us. Parker, Brown, Diggs, then Geis, Williams, Swift, running backs. A.J. Green, Deshaun Watson. So now we've had 6 quarterbacks come off the board. Oh, I'm sorry, 5? 5 quarterbacks come off the board. Julian Edelman, and it's back to us. So let's see who's still on the board. Okay, now here's someone who's very interesting, Jarvis Landry, who should have been gone by this point. And obviously he's recovering from hip surgery, so he's being a little bit suppressed on the list. But where are you, Landry? There you are. We can restore him. And you can see Jarvis Landry scores fantastic here. Look at that, 62 VORC points. And again, his outlook is just terrible because he's got that injury designation. But I think he would be a fantastic choice. You can see Michael Gallup Sterling Shepard, Michael Gallup. These are the guys we expected to have available. Let's look at the running backs. J.K. Dobbins of Baltimore, James White, Ronald Jones. Okay, now Ronald Jones is someone who I'm very interested in. And where is he? Ronald Jones. He's not even on this round, is he? Running backs. I don't think he is. I think he's set up on the next round. But I do like the idea of taking him. He's obviously very high on this board. What I want to do, let's go ahead. I'm going to take Landry just because I love the value of him at this point. So we'll go ahead and we'll take Landry. And then as far as the running backs go, again, Ronald Jones is right there. He's not going to make it back to our next pick. And that's when I think the app is probably expecting him to be available. If we look at quarterbacks, you can see, so there's still there's still 3 quarterbacks ahead of Matt Ryan. So he has not been triggered to be taken yet for me. Usually if it's within 3, then I would take him if he was my choice. But I do like Ronald Jones. I want a piece of this Tampa Bay offense. I think he's a great choice. He would be our 4th running back, and we have 3 wide receivers as well. So let's go ahead and take him, and we will go ahead and let's pause this. Pause the draft. And let's go to the 8th and 9th round. So it's recommending on the 8th and 9th round. Wait for the recommendations to move over. Okay, so Daniel Jones, quarterback. Again, we don't need to worry about that. The quarterbacks are coming off slow. Jamison Crowder, and there's Ronald Jones. Okay, so it was expecting Ronald Jones to be available in the 8th round, but he was not going to make it here. If there was only 2 guys ahead of him, there's no way he was going to make it to our next pick. So I'm glad we took him early, but you can see that he rates very well. 64 points in the 8th round, so it wouldn't have been as much in the 7th round, but he still would have been at about 40 points. So I'm happy with taking him there. Again, his value ranks 69th, so we still got value on him. So that's very good. Let's go ahead, and Sterling Shepard is a long shot. Jamison Crowder, let's go ahead and put Crowder on our list. And I think it might make sense for us to take a tight end on the next pick. Let's see here. So, look, there's Tyler Boyd. I love Tyler Boyd. Let's put him up. He probably won't make it back to us. But where is Crowder? There's Crowder. Okay. And then for running backs, well, Ronald Jones was the running back, but let's see if there's any others that score well. Lindsey scores, but not top 100 value. Again, there's Marlon Mack as a long shot. Kerryon Johnson scores, he scores top 100. He might be worth a pick, even though he's low reliability. Only 15 VORC points though. I guess he's not really worth that much. Again, he hasn't been worth anything for fantasy in his entire career. Hayden Hurst ranks at 30 VORC points. That's below where I like to see him at, but I think he's a good choice with lots of upside. I got him as a breakout. That's what that fist bump means. 5-star outlook. Value's not great, but I think the volume is there. So let's go ahead. We'll put Hurst on our list. We'll see if he makes it back to us. I hope he does. We will also look at the quarterbacks. And, of course, Matt Ryan was one that I very much like. So we can put Matt Ryan on there. And we can put Daniel Jones on there. As Daniel Jones, I love his outlook this year. So I think he's really going to be a breakout. So we got a lot of options. We got a lot of things lined up here. And any running backs? Let's see. Is there any running backs I want to put on here? We probably should. I mean, Lindsey scores 49 VORC points. Marlon Mack scores 48. Those are both good choices. Let's put Lindsey and Mack on there. Even though they're not super valuable for fantasy, there is some upside there. So we'll put Mack on, and we'll put, where are you? Lindsey. There we go. All right. So let's see what happens on this round. So after our pick of Ronald Jones, let me go ahead and unpause this. Resume. Okay, so after our pick, then Russell Wilson came off, so another quarterback. Then Cooks, and then we had a run on running backs. White, Dobbins, Howard, Coleman all came off. Then Rob Gronkowski, Hayden Hurst came off, of course, right? Tyler Boyd, Deontay Johnson, Michael Gallup. Then Drew Brees came off, Deebo Samuel, Marlon Mack, Keyshawn Vaughn, Tariq Cohen, then Tom Brady. Then Evan Ingram, then Tyler Higbee, Matt Ryan, Matt Breida, and Sony Michel. So Matt Ryan came off too. So we lost some guys that we were targeting, but you can see that Shepard, Crowder, Jones, and Lindsey all did make it back to us here. And if we look at overall, and also Alexander Madison is here as well. He would probably be a good choice as well. Is he even on the list? Oh, yeah, there he is. Oh, but he only scores 19 VORC points here. That's not very great. So I think what we need to do, let's go ahead and restore Shepard. Let's go ahead and change this back to all so we see all the players. We'll restore. I think Shepard's going to be just a must-get at this point. Are you already on the list, Shepard? Oh, yeah. Look, he's at the top of the list with 80 VORK points at this point in the draft. Daniel Jones, very highly rated. And I think if we look at who's still available for quarterbacks, okay, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Josh Allen is still available. Holy cow. Carson Wentz, Matthew Stafford, Cam Newton. Let's see here. Stafford. Yeah, look, we still have lots of players before Daniel Jones is available. We're not at that trigger point. Of course, that long break between our picks really does hurt us. But now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 teams that have quarterbacks. So there's not that much competition left for quarterbacks at this point. I think we can wait one more round on the quarterback. And let's look at tight ends. Now, of course, our picks did come off. We only got a minute left to take our pick. All right, so I think what we need to do here, let's go ahead and take Sterling Shepard with our first pick. Go ahead and get him. And now for tight ends, Hunter Henry. See, Hunter Henry, Jared Cook, Noah Fant, Austin Hooper, Mike Gesicki. Let me see here. I'm going to see what they're. Oh, is this last year's points, or is it just a projection for this year's points? I guess it is. You know, we could take a chance on, Hunter Henry is such an injury risk, but he is a difference maker when he's on the field, and we could take a second tight end, which I normally don't do, but I'm usually not used to him being available so late. Let's see how he ranks. If we look down and we find Henry, Hunter Henry, we restore him. Where does he show up? Oh, way down here. Look, he's still not worth anything. He's just not, it's just not worth taking him, you know. I do like the idea of going with Jarwin late at this point, just because these guys, you know, again, they all have lumps. This is tough. I could just take my quarterback too if we wanted to. I kind of like the idea. Daniel Jones. Yeah, see, I like the idea of going with Josh Allen just because of his rush yards. He's very safe floor with those rush yards. And the fact that he's available as the 10th quarterback, that's right where I would like to get him. We could look at Josh Allen real quick too. Let's go ahead and restore Josh Allen. There he is. Let's go ahead and restore him, as he should have already been gone. Josh Allen, 45 VORK points here. That's pretty darn good. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take him. I think that's good enough, and I think that is a great value at this point in the draft. So we got our quarterback. All we still need is a tight end. So after us, let's go ahead and we'll pause. I'm just going to pause this draft real quick. Let's jump to the next round. Okay, so 10th, 11th round. Who's it recommending? Darrell Henderson, Blake Jarwin, Jalen Reagor. Okay, so like I said, Jarwin, it was saying that's when we should take him. So let's go ahead and get him queued up. So we'll go ahead and we'll get we will go ahead and get Jarwin queued up. And we'll see what other tight ends are still available. But you can see here that Jarwin scores. Where are you, Jarwin, on the list? There we go. 60 VORK points. So, you know, we're going to get good value. We're going to get fair value out of him. Great outlook, high reliability. You know, it's a great situation that he's in. I think he's really going to break out this year. And then we wanted to get Darrell Henderson, so let's get him on the list. Darrell Henderson right there. And who else is on our list there? Let's see, Jalen Reagor. I don't think we need to worry about that. We're not going to need another. Oh, look, McCole Hardman. Maybe he'll make it back to us. Let's see if he's even still on the board. Where are you? Let's see. Oh, there he is. I doubt he's going to make it back to us. All right. And who else do we have here? If we look at the running backs. Again, after Darrell Henderson, who scores very good on VORK score for this round, but none of these other guys do. And look at their terrible value. That's part of what's you got to deal with at this point in the draft. Let's see here, and we've got Reagor and Hardman. I'll put Reagor on. I'm not particularly thrilled with taking a rookie wide receiver, but he might be. Jalen Reagor. There he is. I'll put him on the list. All right, so let's see what happens here. Go Go ahead and restart this list. And if we look at after us, Will Fuller came off, Alexander Madison, Marvin Jones. Then Aaron Rodgers came off, Hunter Henry. San Francisco came off in the 9th round, the defense, Carson Wentz. Then Phillip Lindsay, Chase Edmonds. Darius Slayton, Jerry Jeudy, and CeeDee Lamb came off. And then Latavius Murray, Kerryon Johnson running backs. Matthew Stafford came off. Crowder and Hardman. Oh, great. 2 guys we were looking at. They came off. Pollard, Ruggs, Gibson, Jackson, Emmanuel Sanders, and now it's back to us. All right, so we definitely need to get our tight end. And it really doesn't seem like very many tight ends came off. Just Hunter Henry came off. So we still got a bunch. Cook, Font, Hooper. But I don't think any of these guys are going to outscore Jarwin on this round. I mean, if we just look at the tight ends, let's just look at the tight ends. And we can restore Hooper. Yeah, he scores 16 points. Cook scores 25 work points. Yeah, I mean, again, there's just nothing. There's nothing here that's really calling me out. Jonnu Smith scores 20. Yeah, none of these guys compare to the opportunity that Blake Jarwin has. So let's go ahead. We will take him as our tight end. And then I love the idea. I think Henderson's a great value here, man. In the 12th round, again, just tremendous. So especially for PPR. So let's go ahead and we'll take Henderson. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause this. We're almost done with this draft. Oh, no, cancel. Pause the draft. Don't end the draft. Okay. And so we got the 12th and 13th round coming around now. Here's who it's recommending. Okay, these are all great choices, man. Look at this. We got Curtis Samuel, Alan Lazard, and Boston Scott. Let's go ahead and cue all these guys up. These are great choices at this point in the draft. Look, Curtis Samuel offers top 100 value. Lazard right at 100 points of value. Boston Scott 118th in value, but I love the upside of his opportunity in that offense. So let's go ahead and we will do, let's go to the running backs. Oh, there's no way Boston Scott's going to make it back to us where he is on the list. Shoot, that's too bad. But let's go ahead and we will get... let's go ahead and there's Lazard. And let's go Samuel. There he is. We'll put him on. Okay. And who else do we want to put on this list? Let's see who else is available here. So Lazard, TD Westbrook scores 65 work points. Boston Scott, Drew Lock. We really don't need a second quarterback. Fitzgerald, Antonio Gibson. See, these guys are under 40, so a little marginal. I think Gibson was already taken. I think didn't he already come off? I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, he already came off, so he's already gone. So, all right, let's see what happens here. So, go ahead and resume. All right, so after our pick, then the Ravens and the Patriots came off. Then Zach Moss, Jared Cook, Cam Newton, Daniel Jones, Buffalo Bills, Christian Kirk, Noah Fant, Justin Jefferson, Anthony Miller, then Jalen Reagor, Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, Michael Pittman, Boston Scott came off. That's a bummer. Preston Williams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Duke Johnson, Chicago Bears, Baker Mayfield, and Deshaun Jackson. So Curtis Samuel and Alan Lazard did make it back to us. As far as who to choose among them, Curtis Samuel actually scores a perfect 100 work points at this point in the draft just because his value is so good relative to his draft position. So let's go ahead. We will take Samuel. And as far as running backs go, who's even left? Is there even anyone left that's of any interest to me? Let's see here. Damian Harris, Joshua Kelly. Joshua Kelly is a guy I like as a flyer. I think he shows up on the next round. Let's see here. Yeah, Joshua Kelly. Just no value here, really. I mean, but I have a feeling that he can take over the Melvin Gordon role on this offense. So I love the upside there. So let's go ahead and take him, and then we will let it go. And we really only have, we got our 2 picks left. So let's go ahead and pause the draft. So we're in the 14th and 15th round. It's recommending Sam Darnold, Denzel Mims, Buffalo Bills defense. I don't know if that's still available or not. Actually, I haven't haven't been paying much attention. Oh no, it's long gone. Just to let you know, I've been eyeing the Philadelphia Eagles for my defense. I've been getting them in just about every draft because they're easy to get at the end of your draft. Let's just see who's even available at this last point for our last pick. So we got, after us, it was Joe Burrow, Brandon Ayuk, Nyheim Hines, Anthony McFarland Jr., then John Brown, N'Keal Harry, Mike Gesicki, Austin Hooper, A.J. Dillon, Drew Luck, the Minnesota Vikings, Carlos Hyde, Sammy Watkins, the Saints, the Cowboys, Damian Harris, Jonnu Smith, Rashad Penny, Los Angeles Chargers, Dallas Goedert, T.J. Hawkinson, Jamal Williams, and now it's back to us. So if we look at who's still available on the tight ends, Ebron's still there, Doyle's still there. Oh, you know what? I mean, I'm not particularly super interested in these guys, and I hardly ever take a second tight end. But given that we had to wait and we got Blake Jarwin so late, it might be good just to have a second option there. And I do like Jack Doyle's opportunity, even though I'm not thrilled with Phil Rivers as his quarterback. But I think that there could be something there. So let's go ahead. We'll take him. And then as far as defenses go, like I said, for me, it's definitely the Eagles. They got a great first 3 weeks in their matchups. Very strong. Who's still available? Seahawks, Dolphins, Rams, Titans. Yeah, none of these guys have as good of matchups. So we'll go ahead. We will take the Eagles. We'll let this baby run out. It's a pretty good team, man. I got to say, I really like this. I'm just going to pause for 1 minute. We'll review these players on my app. So there we go. All done. And I'll be right back. All right, man. I'm very happy with this team. This is really an excellent team, and I'm going to show you why. Now, the first thing is I want you to look at is the value rank on all these players. This is my team, and I got 6 players with top 50 value. That's amazing. I should only have 4. I got 6 of them. And then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11 players with top 100 value in PPR leagues. That's impressive. Now, you look over here, and I've got lots of good markings. I got a couple of obviously challenging ones, but let's review. Kenny Golladay, contract year. Courtland Sutton has a contract year next season. Who else do we have? Ronald Jones has a contract year next season. Curtis Samuel, contract year this season. Look at my breakout players: Joshua Kelly, Darrell Henderson. That's all excellent. Bounce back players: Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt. I love that. The little upward-facing arrow is upward usage, trend in their usage over each of the past 3 seasons. That's what you want to see. Now, I do have a couple players I took a chance on. Jarvis Landry, right now, he's got that injury designation because of that hip. He's recovering from that hip surgery. I think he's going to be fine, but that does hurt his outlook. That's why he only gets 1 star on the outlook. Still tremendous value when we got him in the draft. Josh Allen does have regression risk because of his high number of touchdowns. He got 9 touchdowns last year. That is certain to fall back. But again, tremendous value. We're getting him as like the 10th quarterback off the board. That was a gift, a very safe floor with his with his rushing capability. He's good for 500 yards minimum rushing. That really helps for quarterbacks. What else do we have here? Blake Jarwin does have a big contract hangover, so that's just a little bit of a negative. But again, I like the markings on each of these players. Look at how many stars I got. Most of these players, 4 and 5 star players. And the ones that aren't, again, we'd already talked about Landry, Doyle, and Allen. We got Ronald Jones and Courtland Sutton have 3 stars. Really, what I say is 3 stars or more is what you want. So we only took a chance on 3 players, and really I'm comfortable with all 3 of these players at the places we got them in the draft. Let's look at reliability. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 high reliability players. And then all the rest are mid. No low reliability players here. So that is excellent. That's exactly what you want. And then on consistency rankings, let's look here. I got 4 players that scored 10 out of 10 on consistency last season. And I got another that scored 9 out of 10. Amazing. 8, 6, 6, 5. I got no players that scored below average on consistency, a 4 or less. Again, this is a rock solid team. Very reliable, very consistent, great outlook, great value. This is exactly what you want in your fantasy team. And so I'm just going to say it again, man. Go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com, and get my app. It's gonna make a huge difference. The cost is only $19.95 for a 1-year subscription, unlimited leagues, however many you play in, you can utilize it in all of them. It will absolutely raise your game and allow you to draft the strongest players at each and every point in your draft. And if you noticed, I basically got everyone I wanted. I did get sniped on a few players here and there, but the value players that fell to me were fantastic. And I got great VORC scores on all the players at the point that I took them in the draft. And that's the most important thing. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. This went very well. If you have any questions or you want to talk about any of these players or any comments or about how the mock went, please leave them at the bottom and like and subscribe. Other than that, stay cool this weekend. I'm going to try to do that myself, and have yourself a great weekend. All right? I'll talk to you soon.